It's time for today's face-off on Fox Soul. Challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face-off on Fox Soul starts right now.
Okay, hold on, pause. This is what we're not doing. So every time that he does this, I'm gonna record this. That's not okay. I'm just letting you know. No, the thing is, this is the third time he's done it. This is the third time he's done it. He doesn't want to go with you. So actually show up. Actually show up and do something then with him. Because he does this every time. No, it's not. No, it's not. It ain't because anybody babies him. You give him his bag and stuff?
That's terrible. 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no, it's not that at all. No, it's not. No, yeah, I will. But I'm telling you right now, every single time you come here and he flies, we're going to record that. And it's up with me. Just know that. It's up.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you say.
My
If you had one, maybe I would.
I would.
What you looking
on my way.
Get your out my driveway. You don't pay for either. $170,000 to your but $11,000 in your son's bank account. $11,000 in your son's bank account. But $100 for that bank.
In this round, here's Quan LX.
Watched a video that has gone viral across the country of a social media personality, from say an influencer, Sister Brittany Renner, and also her child's father, PJ Washington, who was a current NBA basketball player. And he was there obviously to pick up his son. Obviously, it must have been his quote unquote time of possession with their joint custodial agreement with a young child. She was upset that the child was crying because he didn't want to go with the father. His father's an NBA basketball player who travels all around America so many months. So I'm sure it is difficult for him to really be there for that child as much as he would like to be, because most professional athletes are really never at home. They're traveling all over America. She decided to film the exchange. What's her motivation for filming the exchange? I don't know. But Brittany is a smart woman. She's an intelligent sister. But the way she conducted herself in this situation, along with her mother, was extremely distasteful, disrespectful, and it really portrays Mr. Washington as the victim in this case. But I don't like Brother PJ saying to her mother, out of anger, out of frustration, and to some degree outrage, to suck his penis. You don't talk like that to any woman, dear brother. You're talking like that to his grandmother in front of the child, in front of the child's mother, and your wife in the car. You don't stoop to such levels, brother, because obviously you're being gaslit to some degree and provoked, so that response would come out so they could get it on recording. But it's awful what we see. But these stories are happening all over America with these exchanges of children in time of possession. It's happening with rich people and poor people in this country, white and black. It's awful that what we're seeing is taking place, but I've seen many horror stories when you have custody battles and children who are being fought between parents to choose which one has possession of the child. I've seen horror stories of things that they make up, things that they create, and things that they allege just to win possession of the child. I don't like the language by either side in this case, but I believe both of them could have handled themselves much, much better and much more civilized. And I would say to Sister Brittany, you converted to Islam. Is that the character? Is that the conduct? Is that the language of a woman who believes in the grace and mercy of Allah?
Well, if I'm recalling correctly, when she got divorced from Kevin Gates, she ceased to wear the hijab and got a lot of criticism from Islam. I'm shocked at the degree of criticism that you've had for PJ Washington. He plays for, what does he play for, the North Carolina?
No, he's in the NBA.
Sure, yeah, I know he's
Dallas. What's it called? Dallas Mavericks.
Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, no, I know he's NBA power forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he used some foul language, But when you say viral video, this wasn't a video that just happened to go viral, right? Miss Renner is a social media influencer. She has been on a variety of reality television shows, Real Housewives kind of stuff. She was a athlete herself, a collegiate soccer athlete, I think, at Jackson State. A talented, skilled, intelligent woman who, as you said, her mother didn't strike me as intelligent. Maybe if I had a more robust viewing of her, she seemed like an awful, awful human being, right? And maybe they have a real reason to be mad at PJ Washington. Maybe he ran around, maybe he did her dirty, maybe. But if you look at this through the lens of just this encounter, right? Babies cry, toddlers scream. They do it when you drop them off at daycare. They do it when you drop them off with their grandparents. They do it, period. What we also have in America and fathers of all races is fathers having kids and then becoming non-participatory financially and, actually physically participating. That doesn't appear to be the case with either situation. I heard them chirping, oh, your baby only has $11,000 in his account. That just shows you someone that's got a pretty horrible perspective.
Right.
As a toddler, having $11,000 in their account is pretty amazing, right? And would, mean that toddler's got enough money to have everything he needs that month, pretty much anywhere in America, right? We heard PJ say, well, you don't pay for nothing, to suggest that possibly PJ is paying for the home and a lot of other things. But I don't know that for a fact. And it does seem like Miss Renner's been pretty successful herself. But this was all a setup, right? I'm going to start filming this. He's cried 3 times in a row. This was a bully. This was an effort to be able to show, and I say this is from a lawyer's perspective, and I haven't done family law in a long time, but to say we're recording this so we can return to court and suggest that it is harmful for you to have visitation. And there is nothing more harmful in a child's life, and it's been proven time and time again, especially in Black America, where you have the highest rate of non-participatory fathers, right? There's nothing more harmful for a child, male or female, to deny, as long as it's not an abusive father, a pedophile, some horrible dad, right? But to deny the participation of the father in the child's life is a horrible thing for almost all children, and has very much become very clear. It is a horrible, horrible thing for a tremendous number of young Black Americans who don't have a participatory father. And it's very clear, and you might talk about his basketball schedule in this, it's very clear from our own statements, he's participating. Of course, no toddler wants to leave their mother, right? Even if the father lived in the home, almost every toddler wants to be with their mother. That's the maternal bond. I know in this post-gender America where we just act like none of it matters, but it does matter, right? And we do have this America where, everything's transitory. Relationships are transitory. I mean, children would be better served. And I know this is a bitter pill for all the divorced people in America that have kids, but children would be better served if both parents were in the home. But when both parents aren't in the home, it's very important that they both participate. And clearly, PJ is participating. And clearly, he had enough of Brittany Renner and her mom's bullcrap.
It still does not excuse him telling the grandmother to suck his penis in front of his child and knowing he's being recorded. The best thing Brother PJ could have done was made no comment at all, get in the car, and when that video is released, use that video to show that she's attempting to alienate the father from the child. Then that would have backfired on her.
That's what the video shows.
That's exactly what he should have done, not use the term "suck my penis."
Yeah, no, his behavior wasn't perfect. He was clearly frustrated.
There was a recent study that said that yes, Black men who are split from the mother of the children, or all men who are split from the mother of the children, that Black men are some of the highest, most engaged fathers with their children who in divorces from Black women. In divorce,
to make stuff up. I love it. Charles,
wait a minute, Charles. No, Charles, wait a minute. In cases where the Black father was married to the mother,
okay,
statistically, the Black father in that divorce, if they get divorced,
that's different, isn't it?
The highest engaging of all fathers. Now, in cases where the mother and father was not married, the baby mama drama, then we're the most single parent households without a father. Okay. But that study is out there for you to see. Just Google it. Charles, let me say this. This is happening all over America. Charles used to practice family law for a while. You and I both know in family law, the family courthouse is nicknamed the Palace of Perjury because like I know, some of the most grotesque lies, the worst concocted lies take place in custody battles involving two parents who split, who are fighting over the children. I don't like it. I hate it, Charles, but this is happening everywhere, all over America. And now do you know that even across every racial line except Asians in America, that now that single parent household is on a sharp increase, not a decline for every race in America?
No, it's awful. I mean, it's been going on since the late 70s, right? When the divorce epidemic took off. We both grew up in single parent households, right? And I mean, I think it's a horrible, horrible thing for America. And I think when I don't know, I don't think they were ever married, right? I think she was married to the rapper Kevin Gates and just had a baby with PJ Washington.
And she's much older than him. Right.
But you have a guy taking responsibility financially and present. And clearly she's trying to disrupt his ability to be present for the child. And while he might have used some ugly words, I have no criticism for a man of any race who is participating aggressively in his child's life. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And when a woman or a man tries to disrupt it and exclude a parent from participating, I think they're the problem. And very clearly, she was trying to create a mechanism to keep him from exercising his visitation because the kid was crying. Instead of consoling her kid and saying, "Hey, this is Daddy. He loves you. He's gonna take you. You're gonna have fun."
She did have the appearance of the bitter baby mama drama. But Charles, I will say this: to every father, be very careful and wise what you say in anger about that child's mother in front of that child. Because trust me, you may not know it, but subconsciously you're wounding your child's psyche when you speak foul about the other parent in the presence of that child. Try your best to refrain from that. And no matter what the other parents say about you, you just show that child through your actions and conduct that you are better than the lies being told about you.
I mean, look at all the anger and toxicity is damaging to that toddler. I think it was driven by the mother and the grandmother. And I mean, yeah, he said some ugly things, but who knows what he's been putting up with. Now, I'll say this, who knows what Brittany's been putting up with. But from that incident, he seemed to be the one trying to drive a wedge. And a real mother, I'm going to say this, a real mother of any race would be consoling her child while they were having tears and explaining to them, "Hey, baby, you and Daddy are going to have fun. Hey, baby, you have fun with Daddy. You're going to be home in just a couple of days. Daddy's going to do fun stuff with you. I love you." You didn't hear any of that. She was weaponizing the child's tantrum in the most awful way. And she's the one that should be ashamed of herself, not PJ.
Greed started to come in. It's like, I needed more, I need more, I need more, when I really didn't need it. I knew that if I sent private messages with the top off, I would get more money. If a woman was to go and sign up for OnlyFans and she's like, "Oh, I'm only gonna do bikini photos," I promise you it's going to lead to more and more and more. We're going to keep asking for more things. They want to see more and more and more.
Some people say, well, pornography breaks people apart. It shatters relationship. In our case, it's made it just so much stronger.
It's going to be fun.
I think so, babe.
What has given me real joy is the fact that so many people who are older say things like, "Wow, this is something I can watch with my wife."
In this round, here's Quanell X.
Charles, that was a very interesting segment. We have on this show several times discussed women who have turned their OnlyFans pages into careers selling sexual images, sexual acts, and everything dealing with sexual activity under the sun. Black China, very popular social media woman who had a child, I believe, from one of the Kardashian brothers, Kim Kardashian's brother, and very popular, who also had an OnlyFans page. She made millions, but now she is saying, like so many of those young women are saying, it was a mistake, because the scripture, the Bible teaches us, what does it profit a man or a woman to gain the world, but same time lose your soul? She recognizes, like so many other young women, that selling sex online in any capacity comes back to hunt you and robs you of your humanity, robs you of your dignity and your self-respect, to where sick-minded men turn you into a piece of meat for their pleasure. And she spoke about they keep asking for more and more and more, because the more you reveal, the more freakier the freaks are, and the freaks want you to get. But a lot of these young women, I think, should hear what she is saying and other young women are saying, because it's a financial windfall for you at the moment, but the long-term effects could be devastating. And if you notice, when she was giving her interview, she was sitting inside of a church. And so obviously that suggests to me that she is back now relying completely on her faith in God and the word of God to provide for her and her child and to lead her life.
Well, Cornell, we've seen this for the last, I don't know, 30 or 40 years, an effort to convince women in the West, and specifically America, that it is empowering to have casual sex. That is an empowering, you know, that sex work is real work and nothing to be ashamed of. And that selling your body is an appropriate vehicle to obtain your financial goals for women, right? And I'll say this: if men could, you know, take pictures of their taint and sell it on you know, anything on OnlyFans or anywhere else and make a lot of money, dudes will be doing it all over the place, right?
How
But
you
I've
know?
seen some of the numbers for this younger generation, like sub 30-year-old generation, where it's like 2 out of 10 women, some absurd number, percentage of young American women have had an OnlyFans, right? And of course, the overwhelming majority of women on OnlyFans don't have any success, right? Financially, it's a trap that they don't actually make money at. You do hear about the anomalies, people making more than professional athletes, making tens of millions of dollars a year, performing and being nude and chatting and communicating, as Black China pointed out. But we also, that was a weird clip. There was a dichotomy in that clip that you did not mention. Of course, you had Black China, who had a child with Rob Kardashian, but before that, she had a child with the successful rapper Tyga. She had herself a successful career that I think both began as a stunt double for Nicki Minaj in some music video. It led to Drake and the mention all this. And she was, you know, she had reality TV. She seems to have torn down a lot of her life on her own. She famously sued and lost, suing the Kardashians for defamation. And then she went into this OnlyFans where she was making some real money because it was tied to her celebrity, right? And her exotic appearance. But we need to start having truthful conversations. You know, the people behind OnlyFans, the people behind all these porn sites, you know what they all are? They're all men, right? And they're all men making a fortune by convincing women that it's empowering to exploit themselves. Now, the current paradigm is far better than the historic paradigms of pornography, right? Where you had monsters like Hugh Hefner. And if you read about Hugh Hefner's life, he was a horrible, despicable person. Where people like him and Larry, God, what was Larry's last
Larry
name?
Flint.
The guy.
Larry Flint.
Yeah, Larry Flint. Where they made all the money and the models made hardly any money. And the same thing with the porn industry as a whole, right? It was before OnlyFans, it was the porn platforms like, you know, we banned them in Texas largely, but it was the companies that made all the money, and the women who participated in the content made very, very
I
little.
believe it's still that to this day.
Right. Well, right now, there is a huge, the women are able to far better monetize it with OnlyFans than its competitors, right?
But remember, the founder of OnlyFans takes a percentage of every dime that goes to female. So he's a pimp too. He's a pimp too. Ain't no difference. He's a pimp. He's just paying taxes on his pimp money.
Well, I mean, the pimp suggests coercion, whereas this is people.
And you don't think he's coercing? He's using his platform to coerce young women into doing that to make money.
But then you see this other couple, the creepy white couple in the video. Because remember,
That's the owner. That's the owner.
No, those were content creators. That was not the owner. Those were a content creating couple where that older woman puts out content. That's what she was talking about. That the people watches and say it helps them with their sexuality, and they're just modern swingers, right?
Right.
They're that guy is now he's a pimp, right? Pimping out his wife for content to make money so he can probably
Exactly.
work. And I think that they're trying to put a lipstick on the pig. I'm not calling her a pig, but I didn't find her particularly attractive. But they're trying, the situation is piggish, right? And they're trying to suggest that by doing this, it somehow brings them closer together, and it's sexual health, and it's all this, and it's absolute nonsense. It's just a way
I
to
think
make
most
money.
men.
And
I think
Go ahead.
most men who wife decide to bring home an attractive woman, and the wife says to her husband, "Honey, I done brought us a playmate, and she's down for her crown, and she's game to do everything that you want to do."
I
You
didn't
can
hear
leave
that discussion.
well, hell, you saw it when she kissed him. And so as she kissed the woman's husband and he smiled with the wine glass and he and his wife walked to the bedroom, most men would never want to do that when the camera is rolling. But if the camera was not there, I think most men would be like, "Oh yeah, baby, let's get it going, sweetheart. Thank you for bringing something home for us to play with, baby. I'll be right there with you shortly." But I think the camera part is what most men would object to. But hell, if your wife bring home a very beautiful, fine, sexy woman and say, "Let's get it," my Lord.
On LFD and Ivory OnlyFans. You want?
No,
that
I can't
girl?
do it.
You want
No,
the
no.
snow bunnies, the white queens?
No, I have children. I can't do that.
Okay.
My kids would find me laying in a ditch somewhere. No, not my daughters. My daughter.
That's it for the Face Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.